We go Dust 2, map 1 against between FaZe and Big in this best of 3 series. It's going to be a really important map for FaZe. They've got to get off to a good start in this series. I think if they're going to win this one, it's going to require all 3 maps. So Dust 2 is a really important starting point, obviously. So they'll be on the CT side too. So it's the CT side is always a struggle on Dust 2. We'll see if that's how it looks for FaZe, but it looks like Big off the bat want to get their efforts towards B.
It's a big investment from FaZe Clan towards long with 3 players in the pistol, so rotation will be long, but you can see they're going to be proactive about it. Rain having a look-see. And I think Tizian was about to... Did he have grenades? Because the way he was walking, it looked like he was going to throw a mid to B smoke from the long doors and maybe show some presence out long based on where he was picked off, and it seems that Tabson will have to do it instead.
Maybe so. I'm not sure. He does have $0, so could indicate that, but it's going to be a B split here. FaZe with a nice flash, posting back the T's. But there's kills everywhere.
Oh, but still in the bomb side is coldzera, and he can be so scary in some of these positions. He still has this space. Keto here to challenge him in the smoke. Who will get the better of whom right now? This kill can be so important, but Keto is able to clear that position now. That makes the post plan a lot simpler for Big, but as soon as I say that, Rain does take Xantaras down in the tunnels, and it'll be Keto to try to stop that tunnels push. He's being swung on from multiple angles now, and it's just too much for him to handle. Rain takes him down.
And that's what you wanted to see if your FaZe get that economy rolling in right at the beginning. The question is now, like, what do Big want to do? They have quite a few options if they wanted to force buy here. You know, there's a few classic ways you can have a strong round. I think the most classic of which is that playing for the short plant with an A set piece. And that is quite dangerous. Or if you have less nades, you can focus on the firepower, which is what we're seeing here actually. So it's still always so surprising to me how much you can actually eke out after losing the pistol if you get a bomb down. And already we see Big taking an early advantage on the damage exchange. Tizian makes it over to blue for long, so a challenge is here, and playing with that right eye angle there from that blue bin works out quite nicely for Tizian. He needs support, but he won't get it. But a 1-for-1 is certainly a strong way for them to start the round.
That's a pretty rough spot for him because if you looked at the positions of his teams while he was out on long, no one was here to even throw another flash over the wall. So that is a rifle that has been lost. I think FaZe can actually potentially do this into the transfer. Good start, and maybe his teammate can finish off as Brokey doesn't have the best weapons in the world. The MP9 will get dropped, leaving only 2 FaZe Clan players. So I don't think the odds are good for them. I do wonder if they'll even go for this now, considering the situation. But yeah, I think bearing in mind if you saw on the veto, FaZe will be starting on the CT side on the on Nuke. I think that is going to be a very important factor. Again, looking at the sometimes losing 12-16, sometimes just getting absolutely smashed. I think the key will be in the CT side if they have a chance of winning this in 2.
Similarly interesting is that this is FaZe's map pick, and Big picks T side, and I'm pretty sure the statistics show that the T side is better at high level play lately for Dust 2, but I've seen a lot of teams pick CT side. G2, for example, today against Fnatic. Fnatic picked the CT side and made it look pretty good.
You know, I think to probably add on to that is that in order to have a good CT side, you have to have strong opping. And for some reason, FaZe doesn't come out to me as a strong opping team compared to other teams that rely on the AWP. So maybe that's one of the reasons why Big maybe opted for T side as well. Trying to exploit that weakness. I've seen Brocky op here and there, but you know, I've seen better oppers too. Not to put him down like that.
Oh, it's too late now to retract your statement, Eric. You know what you're like. So we got Keto. He's in a better situation than his teammate was because he has that support behind him, so he may get taken out. Oh, well, goes from bad to worse, in fact. 3v3. In the meantime, Tizian realizes the man investment there is towards long and tries to capitalize on that and keep them kind of trapped now between long and short. But has he got a little practice? Apparently he has, as now Big has the man advantage. Xantaras trying to hold on the rotation in those mid doors. That's a nasty burst from him. That shows some promise. That's a Xantaras we always want to see. I feel like for the longest time on Big, we haven't really seen the nuclear Xantaras that we were used to on teams prior. So with any luck, we will see that today.
Yeah, it feels like that's being teed up. Yesterday, he did the most disgusting things on this map. And
Oh yeah.
oh yes, yes. Just have to check the front page of Global Offensive, and you'll see just what I mean. Wiped out an entire buy round in a corner by standing in a corner with a deagle and no armor, I think.
Yeah.
What a beast. But yeah, not a great start for FaZe. The economy's been reset in pretty much the worst way imaginable. And again, I think this map is all about just like somehow eking out 5 to 6 rounds on that CT side. That's really I think the minimum that you'll be comfortable with.
See where Tizian's standing, right? Behind him to the left, there's like a basket where you stand, and those windows at the top left, those red windows, the ones open, one's closed. The closed one, you do like a running jump throw, lined up on that to smoke mid to B from outside long, which I think is what he was about to do at the pistol. And probably why he wasn't watching the door was because you got to be careful that no one's running up mid in a pistol round as well.
We do get that maneuver now towards that B-bomb site from Big, so they've managed to avoid the bulk of the CT side and now making their way across short, so Xantares will slow them down, and I fear for their lives. Xantares is a turret. I wonder what would be the best nickname for Xantares' lethality.
This is bad. Hold on a second, guys. They have how much to lose from this? This is a weird situation where Big have spread themselves out. They've only got one person on the bomb site. If FaZe are fast enough, then there's a chance they could take this. The rifle's going first, so I thought the pistol might do so. It's a bit scary for Xantares, but that smoke lands just in time. That was getting very, very nervous for them. I was just watching that build. They were so spread out. There's a rifle collected. I think it was Tabson who was stuck through mid doors with 1 HP and a Galil once again. So that suddenly got super hairy. Xantares has lost an AWP, and everyone's going to die. And they're going to get a naught from it.
That's
What's
actually
going on?
huge. That is
so
huge.
weird.
That is huge, and a huge mistake by Big to leave an AWP right there for the CTs. I can't explain how bad of a play that was.
That was so weird because it looked like the route they had out-rotated the CTs and effectively kind of locked them out completely. So it's so weird to see that they were giving up so much.
Yeah, the positions were pretty good, but Tabson, who was a focal point of it, was on 1 HP. He pulled that point, though. BMAS taking down Tizian early on in this round, and FaZe looking to bring this game back here with that opening pick.
Yeah, he had actually pretty good effort from Tizian with the bunnying, but still Bemis found the headshot just in the nick of time. And FaZe, they're in a really good position to turn things around. They have a man advantage. They picked up that ult from the previous round, got a lot of value out of it. They hurt their economy of Big enormously. So if they win this round, they are going to be in a great stead to take momentum away. And Big just making sure that the CTs know that they have Catwalk under control, which does create some threat towards the A side. But at the same time, we are seeing that Big are slowly moving towards the speed bomb side. And this might be a good look here because the defense is the weakest around B and mid, so looks like Big have made a good call here, but it has to be executed correctly.
With the change in the doors, it does call for a lot more grenades through that ceiling now, as you're so exposed as you come out. So it does telegraph things towards that B bomb site, and that helps the rotation. We can see that the CT by the window now. Breaky will start off proceedings, taking Keto out. Won't last very long though. Cold Zero tries to do what he can, but it will be 2 for 2 with Big in charge of the bomb site. Assistant holding the window now. FaZe Clan have a man advantage. They've got one flashbang. Maybe there's something on the floor outside, not quite sure, but the main focus is that flash. Assistant repositioning now. He'll do his best to avoid it. That's the last piece of utility for Big. They'll just have to wait for FaZe Clan to make their play now. Bemis lining things up. Will it be 2 through the door? He's coming in with the AWP. Rain eats it though. That timing was a bit off, and that allows Nico to go down with no response. So it was all them. Big was standing there waiting, and they mess up their timing, and the push was ruinous.
I like that word. Ruinous.
That flash from Bemis completely blinded Rain at window too.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was, he walked in through that, and it just went deeper than Rain would have expected. So, despite this being FaZe's map pick, maybe they put it together a little bit haphazardly.
It's too deep. Flash is a little too deep.
I can't imagine so, because they've played it 17 times in officials in the last few months, so I guess it just went wrong, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy too, because that round was so important. FaZe sort of set themselves up actually with that performance from the previous round to turn the tide, and instead now it's potentially very dangerous, because Big might actually get a huge chunk of rounds in a row here now. We'll see what they're able to do. It's a huge utility advantage for Big, as well as a firepower advantage at this point as well. So FaZe are definitely playing from behind, and they're not playing to kind of... Oh, they're not playing... That's actually amazing. He actually hit that. Brokey actually picks up the kill onto Tapson as well. So Tapson tried to press after Nico fell back after he took the scout shot, but a good defense on that A bomb site, and maybe a predictable route back to the B bomb site now after the failure towards A. FaZe are looking like they're in good stead to defend this.
I feel like Rain saw a foot in that corner, unless it's maybe a 4x3 thing and he didn't. But here comes a charge from Boki, which is going to maybe be a little bait. That was a nice 180. Sisson makes his way through to an open bomb site. Nobody went through the doorway. I'm sure there would have been a kill. So again, we've got a 3 outside situation for FaZe Clan. However, the difference is that Keto is sneaking. He's behind enemy lines, and he will lurk late, and he might not even be required just to finish things off, just to clean the plate as Xantares and Sisson get the initial 2 frags, and let's just get that psychological warfare going with some spray on the cadavers.
Searson seems like he's pretty much feeling it right now. He just ran out mid with an AWP, pretty much entering with that bad boy, getting 2 kills towards that middle. I wonder if that's a psychological thing. You know, when you play against certain teams, you notice big AWPers, and you know sometimes the AWPer of the other team might play a little differently depending on who they play. I wonder if he has some kind of game plan for in terms of FaZe, like, you know, not scared of any AWPer really. So is he more comfortable peeking out, wide swinging, taking that extra shot that AWPers may normally not take?
Searson is he's ready to get hairy with his op. He'll take it into some positions at times that it feels like an op shouldn't be, like a regular rifle position, and he has a lot of success with it. He is so explosive with this gun, and just online, it feels like when an opper is feeling it, there's not much you can do about it unless you're using great procedures. Tizian here wants to make it look good at long, though. Doesn't even need to involve the op of Searson on this round, as he finds an opening 2.
So is he a poyu? It's a French word, poyu.
Is that a Tetris game?
No,
on the
it's
Switch.
No, oh maybe, I don't know, but it's a French word. It means infantry, hairy man. I don't know why. It's a World War I.
Why
term.
do you know that?
Because I'm reading. I'm reading a book called.
Why do you know
Poyu.
French?
It's interesting. Like World War I in the history is just amazing.
Brokey with the TK.
Like, kill there. All I heard is about. I know a French word for a hairy man. Why? I think the better question is why that word exists as well.
Yeah, it's the
why,
time.
why is there a highlight for the hair?
We have to go back to 1915 to figure that one out.
And at first you said, "Pour you," it's a French word. And it's like
I thought you were referencing
Thanks,
some
Eric.
player or something.
I was waiting for James to chime in because I think he knows some French over there, and I want to see if he knew.
He isn't, I don't think he knows much about hairy men.
You put him on the spot there.
I know you got
There's culture.
69. That close.
Glad it's stopped short, to be honest. Nico's got the AWP now. We'll see what he's able to do with it. I did notice in these early pushes we've seen on long from Big that they often had a player behind blue, and I wonder if that's something that FaZe would try to adjust to and play again. Speedmus with a very nice spray rings the bell as well of Keto, leaving him on all of 2 HP. Giving him that HP diet. That's 10 out of 10 bot off. Nico by the car now. Now he has the option to have a CT play close, as Rain is doing. So he could have taken a shot there to be the bait, but that smoke will certainly thwart that as he tries to reposition now.
Oh my god! What a play from Rain, just diving through the smoke. An absolute hero. And maybe that's all she wrote for Big in this round. Searson is still alive though, and he's got loads of time to work with, and he's going to get a freebie. So A 1 versus 2. The bomb is down. It's not too tucked away at long. It's somewhat in the open, so he doesn't have to worry about, let's say, if it was stuck in the long house, that'd be very difficult with the AWP. But there might be a way for him to find that bomb after all. Again, lots of decisions to be made here, and he's got to make a lot of assumptions.
Oh.
Oh, I can't believe it. He's found himself a 1v1 now. That's so fortunate for Sisson. But will he continue to be serendipitous here? Oh my god, he goes out with the deagle. Rain will take him down for the quad kill. But at least Sisson made that really painfully expensive.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cash they lost.
Yeah, there's not too much actually to work with on the FaZe side. In fact, Big will have a better buy after that round. But this was such a heroic play from Rain. You love to see it when everything's crumbling at long, when Nico's forced into a tough fight. Rain takes matters into his own hands, flashing himself through, and he catches Big rotating off the position, actually.
I feel like we often see Rain doing these crazy things, like we saw him do that with the P250 on Inferno at E-League many moons ago. Just kind of he's one of those guys who can just kind of bring the pain when FaZe really need it, and boy do they on this CT side. As we can see, there was a big exchange on long once again, but now Big have an opportunity if they realize how many players were there to try and do something with that. But look at the push here from Brokey with the MP9. Flashbang goes a little too deep, actually. I don't know, I thought he would have been flashed more than that, even with it going over his right shoulder, but here we are.
That was odd.
It's also interesting that they made an info play even though they're 5 versus 4 up. That doesn't seem to be an optimal scenario, but maybe because he had the MP9, he wanted to try to get value and get a gun upgrade. That's a possibility, but look at the position it's left FaZe in. Well, the FAMAS is there, but the trade is also there from Big. Xantares trying to do what he can, but he'll just be traded out by Tizian, so the numbers game will work out in Big's favor in terms of getting a post-plant. Still, a good chance here for a retake to be accomplished by Nico and Bemis. Bemis actually has a smoke as well, so he could actually throw that smoke in a number of places to make things awkward. Did he just smoke the doors off again, though?
He threw the lurk smoke at least, so it gives some
space.
space.
Yeah, deeper smoke, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Kito's not sure if both players are outside. That certainly helps, though. Bemis now, he's shown position, he's baited the shot, and he's taken the shot, which is not good for his health. 7-2 in favor of Big. A good T side so far. Baroki's had all of 1 kill on the CT side, so he's not really enjoying himself. And that can be partly in your role as well, when your part is just not going well. Sometimes it be like that, man. But there's still a half to be had here for FaZe Clan. Plenty of rounds for them to try and get a score from this. They'll need more than 2 rounds. Not looking too easy. Oh, look at that portrait of Sapphire. Absolutely gorgeous. Sorry, I got very distracted there. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you.
I don't know. Oh, she can hear us.
Get away.
Oh.
Yes.
She has a great video of her cat playing with a fidget spinner that I gave her. It's amazing. I was surprised. The cat's very nimble. Like, it did a really good job of it. Can't believe you've done this.
Well, Big start off with the long take. They don't really need to do anything else. They can just walk up to the A side. They're playing against the against an eco, and they know that. Xantares is just just has this bloodlust to him. He just needs the kills. He's just the executioner running around the map looking for frags. But the rest of his team,
I wonder how much his English has improved.
Making their way up.
Like since he left his. Sorry, Dan, you continue.
Is German?
I think German is what they speak on the team. I think where he was learning, right?
Did you miss my interruptions?
Well.
Yeah.
It's all over here for FaZe, it seems. Cold Zero, what does he have? He's with a deagle. Well, we've seen some disgusting things from Cold the deagle. No, not this time. Cool.
It's great, you know.
Couldn't answer the call.
Xantares get Toten.
Well, regardless of what language he's speaking, I think, especially coming from his home country, I think it's really going to help over time where, you know, at the beginning, you've got to be more thinking in your own language, like translating in your brain back and forth, which is really going to like lag the communication. But being engulfed in like if you live in a different country, for example, it's going to speed that up a hell of a lot when you're ordering burgers, as we all do.
Love a good burger.
But his burger English is outstanding. And his burger German.
And that's unfortunate for Tizian. being the second person after his first teammate cleared it.
Ooh, Nico. Good read of the situation actually from FaZe. FaZe seems to have like a pretty good understanding of how big rotate during the around the kind of 1 minute mark. Obviously this is a bit earlier than that, but as a response to losing a player early, Big seems to just always gravitate back towards mid doors. FaZe rotate there and get a pick pretty reliably.
Looks like we'll be seeing a cat exec with the final 3 players of the Big Clan. And Nico found the first 2 in the round, looking to try to close it out in style here. The smokes come out. He's playing the game helper position. 1 player drops down, but it'll actually be Rain through CT to find Tapson. And looks like Nico's satisfied with that, willing to give up this positioning. Rain's still here, playing with them a little bit at CT spawn, but that may allow the plant to come out from Big. Good response Molotov, but Surson is able to get that bomb down. Oh, great little nade combo between the 2 of them. Yeah, that is excellent to see between Rain and Brokey. And it just leaves Xantras in a 1v5 situation, and Cold, he's hot on the trail.
So this is what I was talking about. AWPs are kings on this map. FaZe busts out 2, and a very convincing 5-0 kills in this round. So that's what you need. You need more ops from FaZe, and they finally bring it out. But is it too late, too little? I mean, pull
We
it
have
out the 11th round.
we have to acknowledge Nico's rotations in that round as well. He
Yes.
played at least 3 different locations: short, CT spawn, over towards the car, trying to catch him as they try to avoid him and just keep causing problems. Bemis was able to hold on to 2 flashes as well. He was in that long position. I was wondering if he would like how they would approach the attack in that sense, like potentially flashing behind Nico and so on, but it wasn't required. So it would be a 3-0-2 start for FaZe. Nothing untoward there, and this time Nico's towards long. So I think having a CT AWP in a surprising position from round to round is really good to do. Speaking of Vortex, we've got one on Cold Zero as well. He's going to have some target practice. Surely he spams through the smoke while Brokey cleans up. He gets 2 kills at the very least. Now Cold Zero appears to be on fire. Still not peaking though. He'll go down eventually, 3-on-3, as there's a long rotation for FaZe to get towards that B-bomb site.
Yeah, this looks like should be a pretty good post bomb. There's a couple smokes available between Searson and Xantares as well to perpetually re-smoke the doors, or maybe they don't want to because Searson extracting a kill from those doors, but we do get the smoke there to discourage FaZe from even wanting to go for the retake, and they don't really have options right now. So Nico can play an exit, and if there was to be a push here, he would likely get the kill. I think he's still interested in this. Looking to go for the push through to the window. Tamsin will deal with Bemis. Now Nico's going to try to get something done here, but maybe not. He's going to decide that really this is just too difficult. He's going to back away, and it's very difficult. It's very, very hard, I think. It's really interesting to see how the change of the direction of the doors on the B site, how that's changed so many different dynamics between how you can take fights and how it affects the post plants and the retakes and so on.
Yeah, Big's doing a pretty good job on reading how FaZe is playing their CT side. Team FaZe is pretty much playing heavy A for the most part. And if a team's playing heavy A, you want to do a lot of B takes, maybe mid B splits if possible. So far, Big has a lot of success towards that B bomb side.
Nico is everywhere. I really feel like he's kind of reminds me a little of the mouse sport stage where he's like, all right, I need to take control of this, and he is just forcing the issue to get those much needed last rounds. And maybe the urgency has risen as we've developed this first half as well, and we're running out of rounds for FaZe to try and claw back a 6-round deficit at the moment. But it's another opening frag from Nico, and it's down to Big to respond. He must be left alone with Long once again. Cold Zero having a look in the middle position. That smoke goes up just before the T's cross. So now the middle position's unknown. Looks like Big are trying to pull FaZe out of position and try and snap the band at a weaker spot.
To set up that A play indeed. We'll see how FaZe can play against this. They don't really have anything on the site to stop this. This might be difficult, honestly. Big should be fairly guaranteed onto a bomb plant. Nico playing anti-flash there. Oh my god,
wow.
he actually connects that. And I think he gets some collateral damage as well on another player, so that's a pretty good effort. So the bomb's going to go down here, but they don't really have anything left to defend it with at this point. Searson's going to have to go absolutely crazy to make this look remotely doable. Keto's barely standing. He's got 17 health, stuck on the site. Players coming up catwalk. Searson. Oh, he actually misses that one. But I don't think they were ever going to win this round. 9-4, or I should say 4-9, as FaZe managed to start to make this look a little bit better for themselves. It was a really rough start, but we're starting to see better adaptations. And I completely agree, you know, with what you were saying, James. Nico is really taking a lot of agency with that AWP, and it's really making a big difference.
Can we just note how many smokes they used to take him off every possible ball angle around this site? It looks like they tried to pull players towards the mid position, but FaZe were prioritizing the sites, had two towards B, one watching from around the doors. But that 180 as well, there's just a smoke to cover the normal car position. You know, people like Shox used to throw a smoke for that from outside long doors. And see that awning to the top left, the devs put that there to kind of change the meta in that respect. Some vintage smokes from a different angle, but you can see how much of a problem Nico has been, where I feel like that round was like an anti-Nico round. All the smoke grenades and still didn't really go the right way.
BMS here on the long angle. Met with quite a few big players, but it'll be Nico once again to strike. He's supported by BMS though this time, who takes down Xantras as well, and it looks like FaZe are really cleaning house at long. They have complete control of this position, and Big is desperately trying to find an in on it. And it might just be Searson who actually opens up this round. As I say that though, somehow, some way, Tizian is able to find a couple kills along. No. Nico able to recover to take down Searson. The thorn in his side has been extracted, and Tabson wants to try to make up some ground, but Nico, he's just so dominant right now with this AWP. He's looking for the final kill as well, but Tizian, nice tap to take him down finally.
He's going to need a few more taps after that one to try to save this round. He's got lots of time, but the bomb is down in catwalk, so he's got a lot of ground to cover. And coldzera with the AWP is not going to miss that one. My God, that honestly, there's so many moments there where it felt like Big could have taken over. I think that Searson creeping with a deagle on site? I thought for sure he was going to kill Nico there.
Yeah,
like, for sure.
He should have killed him, but Nico,
it was free.
But Nico says, no, I'm going to flick right in your face.
I think he missed, right? He just missed an easy one.
Yeah, he just missed an easy shot. Yeah.
Missed the sitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys remember that. The pros do it when you come talking crap in my stream, yeah? Cheers.
It's the consistency, though. It's the consistency, James. How often are we going to see that?
Thanks for the support.
I've been in the stream before.
So it justifies
my own brand of highlights.
Well, FaZe with the recovery, for sure. They're looking good to get 6 rounds out of this half. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but I think thanks to Nico, he's made an enormous difference. Really taking control of the AWP. And Big. They got 4 deagles, a scout, a bunch of utility. Just running a default right now. coldzera with a lot of open grounds. Oh my God.
Ooh. It's nervous territory. Like when you're alone in mid doors, like I mean, coldzera wasn't in that situation, but when you are, and you just feel that they're gonna try and just swarm you, get that flash in there, and you're probably not gonna escape. It's like nervous territory. But anyway, there are 40 seconds remaining. We've got just a few flashes for FaZe Clan and a sentry on Brokey. So we can see BMS on long has 1 flash, which he could throw behind Nico as he has his AWP by the car, so we can keep an eye on that. And incendiary thrown towards B tunnels in the meantime, but no push from FaZe Clan. Starting to gravitate towards this A bomb site. So here we go. Target practice for Nico. Now BMS is keeping an eye on that long position, so he might not feel free to throw that flash. He does actually dump it just for his teammate to fall back. Bomb plant is not the concern. The concern is winning the round here for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's really difficult, but they've got all of the advantages as they make their way forwards. The rifles are really raining in here, and there doesn't seem to be much the pistols can do. That's a nice one from Tizian. Looking for more. A second frag comes through. Oh my God, Tizian! How many more can he find? They're really weak as well, but he's going to likely have to hit some headshots here. And he's stuck by Catwalk. They only have a single flashbang to throw him off. Also an HE now, I think, collected. But it will be the AWP of Nico to take Tizian down. It was a really good effort, but that is going to be that 6 to 9. Great recovery from FaZe, but still much more work to do. We'll see if they can do that work after this break. We back. I felt like it was actually... all things considered, 6 rounds of FaZe is amazing. Considering how difficult the start was, I feel like this is a really even scoreline for a map like Dust 2. Nice opening from Brokey, catching Tabson as he goes aggressively on that swing on short. And now it's going to be about this split on the A side here. Sis looking to hold on to things, though. From the car position is awkward. The flash comes through, but doesn't quite hit coldzera. And the A side has been conceded by Big. And now it's about the battle from Catwalk. 3 of them. But Rain, we know what he can do with the pistol. James was talking about it earlier. Gets the 1. No, surely not. Surely not. That doesn't seem even remotely fair.
Yeah, that was...
Man, I could have...
That's all you.
No, you talk.
All right. That was going to be difficult anyways, but Rain just stops it all right in its tracks. And good opening there from FaZe Clan. They've really brought this game back. This was an 8-2 scoreline at one point, and now it's 7-9, looking to be 8-9. And Big, they've lost a lot of momentum in this game, and I'm not sure how they're going to reclaim it.
That was really awkward on short for Big Clan because they even split sides of the smoke. They did everything properly. One goes one side, one goes the other side. So we're in the best position to 2v1, and he still got wrecked by Rain. Now Tabson's creeping up top mid, needs to deliver that headshot. Well, getting off bullets there in the end, excuse me. Cold though will hold on to the gun, and that's a very important position taken away. Otherwise things could have got awkward. Nico spotted 1 in a mid position, but he's just fishing for information at present. Not doing anything crazy, keeping Big devoid of the weapons on the floor. Though there's another one gone, so Nico will get taken out after all.
Oh dear. Okay, 3v3. The bomb's now being ferried across towards A. And okay, well that might just go very well then. coldzera will easily deal with Tizian. And the A side is clear for the taking.
At this point, you might opt to save if you're Big. Keep those scouts. Oh, okay. We'll see if they can clean this up, though.
Oh, they know he's there, I think.
Yeah, I think they may have spotted him earlier. In fact, they tag him through the door right there.
Oh,
a lot of damage coming his way. That is really surprising. But now they can isolate the player on the bomb site. This gets really scary for coldzera as 2 players are approaching him from CT spawn. Exercises a little bit of trigger discipline to push Surson forward, and it's just Xantares with the deagle, and we've seen him come up big with this gun before. He's going to have to do it again, and he's able to swap it out for a Galil, takes Cold down. He actually picks up a smoke as well, and he can just choke Bemis out of this position. The bomb is not planned for Bemis whatsoever. Bemis will have to push through the smoke at one point, or does he expect the fake defuse to come out from Xantares? He does, but Xantares finds the kill, but he doesn't have the time.
What an effort, though, given what they invested into the round. That is a lot of damage. Yeah. And he gets to keep the Galil too, which is nice.
That's a real scary situation for FaZe Clan. Again, we mentioned, well, I mentioned it before the match started, going over to Nuke. If they have a situation like that where they're on the CT side, for example, and that one goes wrong, then that could have massive implications. Maybe not the case on Dust 2. But I think if you're going to have like a little scare like that, best to have it immediately so you've got room for recovery if needed, rather than have it towards the end where things could get really horrible. Nice to see everybody's on the scoreboard now as we're in the second half as well. No one's really too far behind, although Nico and Rain have had an exceptional performance at times in that first half.
Yeah, Rain's been coming alive. Last couple games, or I should say last couple series, Rain has been stepping up in a huge way. FaZe needs their players to be able to step up, because I mean that's what they're known for, is their skill, not really their strats and coordination, which we hopefully will come after time playing with each other. But what we expect is those hard headshots all the time.
Well, really fast B explosion from FaZe Clan, and it looks like they'll be good to take this one. It's not really any way that this can be retaken by Big, so good call from FaZe to tie up the score. And you know, for Big, they don't really want to give. This doesn't really serve them to give any kills away here and let the SMGs rack up any money. So we'll see them be very passive. But as FaZe want to upgrade away from the SMGs, they're pretty incentivized to actually try to go for kills here. This is actually a great position from Tizzy, and still very checks every angle. I really didn't expect him to check that angle. Yeah.
I thought he was going to get knifed.
Yeah. That would have been pretty huge.
Top 9 tabs. Nine to 9. Now the game begins. We'll see what kind of shape Big are in on the CT side. What will be purchased? I think the worst. I feel like FaZe will think the worst is over on that CT side again. I really feel like things changed a gear, or stepped up a gear rather, when Nico started aggressively sniping and changing his position. But I think it'll be more of a team effort on this T side from FaZe Clan. See the AWP on Searson. Zantares could have been worse for him as he makes his way over towards that B bomb site. We've got Brokey on AWP now. Probably have a better time of things on this T side.
Searson looking for value on Catwalk, just as we saw JW doing in the previous series. Worked out really well for JW, but we'll have to see how it fares for Searson. He will be absolutely key in this second half for Big. This AWP must have value, and you would imagine that they would potentially flash this position. He might find a timing though if he goes to the peak now. Oh, they line up for him as well, and he manages to get a connection. It's a lot of damage. He doesn't need to repeat this. He's done so much damage. That is perfect for Big.
That's the exact type of start they needed.
I guess the HE was if there was a rifler there, maybe with an AWP up top or something. But that is that's rough, man. Whoa. That's a rough start for FaZe Clan, and there's even more friction. Oh no, is it gonna go deep? It is. It's a catalogue of errors, really, as far as FaZe Clan are concerned. It's a great start to this first buy round for Big, and finally there's the opening frag for FaZe. Now it is still doable, although it's not very likely. Tizzy making his way over, takes one in the face. That didn't quite work out, and Brokey's going to have a flurry of kills to make it a 2 versus 2 all of a sudden. Keto creeping around this smoke on short, but you can see FaZe have already taken defensive positions, not showing at all, and Big, this one could really slip away from them as fast as it started to look good. Brokey spots one towards that Gandalf spot, and Bemis is trying to deliver, doing some damage. Now can Brokey do the rest of it? Awkward for him, 1v1. Zantares pretty low, and that's a disgusting turnaround from FaZe Clan as they make it to double figures. That was a horrific start for them.
Was that a 2-on-5?
Yes.
Yeah.
2v5. Brokey and Bemis, the youngins on the FaZe Clan, are able to bring it all the way back. That's gotta hurt.
That's really rough because there's a lot of needless kills offered up to them. Because he's like just that was so. I think that was just one. That was all 1v1s, like every single time, and that's tough. Yeah, that was a really critical round to win. That could really change the complexion of this game in a pretty big way. I'll have to see if there is anything to be done in this round for Big, but looks like coldzera will manage to win over long control.
Nice.
FaZe Clan will take over that long A. They did send initially 4 people over here just to strong arm this side of the map, make sure that Big doesn't have any good positioning. But as I say, that Keto does take away the whole B side of the map. Clearing the tunnels out.
It's got to be a molly, yeah. There's got to be a molly for that short plant position because it's very good for CTs, especially when they're on eco. But the mollies have come and gone, and now we've got Searson hiding in plain sight. Leg sticking out, he'll be eliminated. Now FaZe can slow things down. They have position on the side. They've got Brokey to watch the cover. The flick is there. That leaves Keto to save an AK-47 at this point. He doesn't really have anything else to contribute to this, so he'll be falling back with that. It'll be 11 rounds on the board for FaZe Clan. What a turnaround. Honestly, the dominoes were really falling in that round prior for Big. It was a great way to start the half on their first buy round, but FaZe just snapped them afterwards.
It's crazy too because
I think the official term is they got clapped.
Clapped. Yeah, Searson did so much right at the beginning of the round. He gets a great timing. He gets a kill and a lot of damage onto a second player, and then he gets a rotation into mid. He gets another kill, so he's He's almost killed 3 people. The third guy gets finished off by a nade, and then that was at the point at where it all started to go wrong because everyone was just completely spread out and not working with one another. And it's not like the FaZe players were lurking anywhere. They were just trying to plant the bomb too, and just like trying to defend the bomb.
Big had all the information.
Yeah, they knew exactly where they were. That's one of those unforgivable rounds that I'm sure they'll be unhappy with. But moving on, we have another buy round for them, so another chance for redemption. And Rain straight out there, looking for something super blind, and Tapsin will find the kill. And he's gonna lock it down on the long position. Nico wants to he wants to make something of this. But really, it's not going to work out, is it?
I think this is going to be a more difficult 2 versus 5 for them, as they haven't really taken any position across the map. So as unlikely as the previous one was, they don't really have anything to necessarily play off of, i.e. position in this situation. Brokey has the AWP, though. He's got to fish for something. Now, the problem is, when you have such an investment like that, in terms of personnel to a position, the CTs might take liberties elsewhere, although they don't necessarily need to take that risk in a round such as this big. So they will sit on the 5 versus 2 and stare at the walls until FaZe Clan choose to make their play. 50 seconds left, and there's no real need for them to peek into anything, as you can see. Brokey really fishing for that. Maybe they go for a save here, but again, no need to peek mid. No need to be mid when there's only 2 players, as it's not going to be the strongest split in the world. So Big can be as passive as they like, and FaZe Clan just needs to kind of lament that push.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a save, obviously, but the CTs can't really push too far because they're pretty low in money. And even though they want to get rid of maybe the AWP or possible gun on Bemis, it's just not economically sound to push. You just have to respect it and save it all for the next round.
Is it economically sound to buy Vox Emin or Hollow stickers and put them on your AWP?
That's a James question, because I don't think it is.
It's a good investment.
You know, those stickers now are $4,000 or $5,000.
Are they? The Vox Hollows?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
'cause
like a bloody Rolex strapped to his AWP.
Basically. Yeah. So I sold my Fire Serpent with the Vox Hollow recently, so I learned about the percentages when it's on a sticker. I didn't pay that, obviously. I bought it when it was a reasonable price many moons ago. But that is quite the flex.
Yeah. That already changes. That already changes things. How I look at the sticker now.
Yeah.
$4,000 or $5,000
It's
for
twice
a
as
few
much as
lines of
yours.
code.
It's mad, isn't it?
Well, Tizian's going to have a really, really deep position. They know he's there, but man, FaZe keep wanting to just dive into the long position, but they're consistently getting, they're consistently taking massive L's on long.
Big had some trouble on long as well on the T side, but they at least made it to blue repeatedly. They got out of the door, whereas FaZe kind of not necessarily. Well, in fairness, they did get out of the door, but they died in numbers. It was often like one person expiring for Big on long, but FaZe are having more trouble than that, that's for sure.
And FaZe will reset into a B push, and that smoke is so timely. That's not going to go away until like 43 seconds or something, so FaZe pretty much have to respect it. There's a lot of flashes left on Big as well, so they could change some flashes in there if they knew the push was coming. Keep it swinging, and that's a great swing. Beautiful spray from Keto.
Wow.
Cleans up the rest of FaZe. They have to FaZe must find a way not to lose a couple players for free at the beginning of their gun rounds. It's a rough look.
Yeah, I was going to say that's like one of the problems with FaZe is on their T sides. They look kind of like they're just trying to walk down, waft their way in a choke point. But as we're seeing right here, they're getting picked off before they even get to that point.
Waft their way. We only say waft when we're talking about farts. Wafting in the UK at least.
Well, they're getting hit like if they're a little slow. So I don't know.
Cessen's managed to. Oh no!
my
Shut
God.
it down. Mass deletions on short from Cessen. Who needs the AWP? The USP is here, and he's chasing for the ace. He's got the AWP, but he wants it. Let me ace. He will play reasonably, though, and fall back. Well, that's a nice way to deal with an anti-eco situation. Demus is just looking for a rotation, looking to do something.
His crosser didn't even move. He just
Yeah,
shot
he was
forward
just
shot.
strafing, yeah.
That's a Quake player right there.
There it is.
Oh.
Oh, the pretty colors.
Sir.
Get me some crayons.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet. That's the first time
wait,
we've seen that graphic.
Is that the first time we've seen an ace? No, right? We've seen some aces.
With that graphic, you could be like, get me some crayons,
I don't
because that's an ace.
It fits the theme also of this summit.
That's probably the first time we've seen an ace in the broadcast.
Well, bigger in the lead now. Their CT side's looking a hell of a lot more comfortable. Well, I mean, I don't think we would describe FaZe's CT side as comfortable. And the CT side of Dust 2 often isn't, but just the fashion in which they had to win some rounds feels different to how big are winning their rounds, which makes me worry for FaZe for the remainder of this game. They need to find a way to break big, and we haven't really seen that yet in this half. Again, the difficulty is going towards long. Sometimes it'd be like that, but we are heading towards that late stage now. A nice pick from Brokey, taking Keto out through the door, quite literally.
Tapson falling there, and looks like FaZe are picking big apart in this round. Just Xantares and Surson that remain. They're both actually centering themselves around middle, but now that Surson has given up his position, FaZe will be able to play off of that information. It looks like Nico knows exactly what to do. He's already hightailing up to that A bomb site. It's just really a matter of can Brokey make it there safely. And it looks like because Big are just holding themselves in this B bomb site, that should be the case.
It's funny because the way that FaZe played that was definitely like really cool because they fake out Big, so Big they think that it's going to be, and in reality FaZe are taking it to A. So that little fake out is really cool. But it's, for me, it's funny because it almost helps Big because it allows Big to save the guns, or at least have a better chance to save the guns, as opposed to perhaps losing the guns in some firefights before they realize where the bomb's going.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they can do carrying these forwards, but they have loads of money, actually. They actually have insane money.
Yeah, they have
I'm really surprised. Kita's on 12k, basically. How did that happen?
yeah, FaZe has been not doing too hot on their T side.
That's true.
Not getting picks.
2 rounds in a row, all 5 alive for Big.
That is a good point. Yeah, they had those rounds where they were just smashing FaZe up long at the early
They were getting
round.
clubbed like seals in Canada.
Oof. Jeez.
That hurts.
Are you a seal?
No. But if I was,
Does seals.
it would hurt.
Well, FaZe indeed have some work to do. They've got to clear all this money out.
This would be a good
And
timeout
this is a
round.
great round to start.
I'd say that'd be a good timeout
Well, it
round.
hasn't happened, Eric. Obviously, they disagree. Searson and Keto, the double AWP for Big, and Brokey will start in the middle position once again. FaZe playing the let's not die in the first 20-second game. No one looking to breach a choke point just yet. We've got deep mollies towards long as Big move into a 2-1-2 setup, kind of. Actually, not really. I think Searson's looking towards short. Can hop off if necessary. Brokey maybe looking to get his dry peaks on again. No moisturizer to be seen. This is the pick he got in the previous buy round, but as you can see, the positions have changed for Big.
Yeah, FaZe back on the short control, and Big in a position where they can play retake A if they want to, using that long control for that effect, and just try to pray that Searson can get something and do enough damage. But he actually has reinforcements now, so looks like they may go for a cat retake, in fact. Oh my god, Searson, he was staring Rain directly in the eyes. They made eye contact, but Rain was the one to get the frag. I actually thought Searson was going to nail that one, but maybe he wasn't sort of fully focused just yet. And he's looking for that B push, which is very common when the CTs go down to 4 players and they want the information. They want to start the flanking. Is to push up a dog, but Tapson now, he's collected the AWP. Can he do what Searson could not? Well, looks like Reigns is going to also kill him, so no.
Got
Tizian.
the sound cues as well. They will hear Tizian making his way to the site. I was going to say he's in a sandwich, but he never made it to the sandwich, man. He just got thrown in a bin immediately. And once again, the remainder of Big have to save on the B bomb site. Keto and Xantares wondering what happened to their success, man. They went to those seminars. Their charts are going up. Now everything's down in the bin once again. Starting to wonder if they've been scammed. Led into a false sense of security.
You sound pretty knowledgeable on that. Any personal experience?
Dude, I've been on the YouTube, right? And when I'm on the phone, where you get where YouTube make their money with all the adverts, I keep getting these adverts from people who are like, "Oh, I've made 300,000 from selling on the Amazon Marketplace and all this kind of stuff." And then like a week later, you've seen these videos where people are making money on the Amazon Marketplace. But my difference is, I'm just like, why am I getting all this stuff?
Those pyramid schemes, man, they're still popular these days.
FaZe have done a great job adapting in these rounds. Like Dan was saying before, they were just kind of throwing themselves at long or dying very early in the rounds in general. But they've slowed things down, and it's almost like they're playing a game of, hey, if we don't die in the first 35 seconds of the round, we have a great shot to win it, and let's just use our protocols and procedures in order to take map control safely and give ourselves the best opportunity to get up close with these rifles. And you know that's exactly what Nico and Rain and Cole, that's what all of them love to see, these kind of duels where you're at this mid-range with the rifle, and that's when their aim can really pop off.
What's interesting here too as well is that Big did manage to build up so much money from the success that they've actually got a lot of cash remaining after this really huge buy that they just made. Xantares is on 10k still, and Searson on 6k, and Keto on 7.2, so they're in a pretty good stead there in that sense. And I feel like in the last round, Big did make the correct adjustment, having a retake of Catwalk, but they were just a little bit too late on that one. And Searson here with that boost, looking over towards Lower Dark. They're definitely going to hear the noises there. HE will miss.
Ooh, I like the idea. I think FaZe was trying to boost on the opposite side of that mid box, so they catch that Opper or anyone push up on Cat, because they're going to be looking more towards the left of the catwalk, not to the right for the most part. You know, because if they're going to either come up the ramp or hop on Xbox, but they didn't do it.
We've got Tizian in the pit. He's going to need some flash assistance from Searson. He's got the one flashbang. Tizian's got, got problems behind me. Looking away from the flash as well. Only able to get one kill, however. Now Searson could be in trouble. He's got Tabson near him. Now, again, in an ideal situation, if you're at the card of LVP, you might have a player on the corner, but that player has been lost. Searson out, considering his options. It's really hard for him to escape this position. So we'll see if FaZe Clan choose to pursue. They've got 45 seconds on the clock, so maybe they will. The bomb's in tow as well. 3 of their 4 players are here, with Beamers lurking in the middle position. Searson with some cheeky jumps. But if he can just stay alive here, that clock will turn against FaZe Clan pretty quickly. The jump throw, Molotov on the barrel to force him out, and he surely gets traded. Indeed, he does, but they've seen the bomb now, which means rotation. 24 seconds on the clock. But Keto seems a bit late on this rotation. It's time to make his way now, and we've got Beamers creeping up short as well.
The HEs are going to do a lot of damage. Able to dodge that second one, but Rain's going to scale his way up towards the site, up the slope, looking to find the headshots, but Tabson is just using that time, using that cover, and, well, things will get tied up. 13-13 for these two teams. And it feels like we're at this point where it's becoming very hard to predict where, like, who's going to really take the advantage. It feels like, you know, FaZe were getting exploited by Big, then they adapted, and then we had an adaptation the other way, and then now it feels like we're kind of in this level spot where both teams have made good adjustments.
I think Big are slightly ahead right now just because they've controlled long every single round.
True.
FaZe have never taken long control effectively, other than an anti-eco, I would say. So if Big can play off of that and play off of long a little bit more, just be comfortable that Tizian will lock it down, or Tabson, I guess in this case, without the need of any sort of support, then yeah, once again, I mean, they just have long again in this round, and there's really nothing that FaZe can do, or I don't even think they want to try it at this point, and it could allow Big to go for a much heavier rotation than they normally would.
Yeah, fortunate for Big, their strengths come from these picks, these slow kind of work into choke points, not getting picked off. As they'll make 2 of them, or 3 people towards the catwalk area, making noise. And Big is in a pretty decent spot to hold off this.
Again.
You know?
Now, on the CT side, when that smoke went up, on the FaZe CT side, if Nico was by car, he would be looking in the gap. So to the left of that smoke, there's a little gap that the T's can look through, but the CTs can see you as well. So Citizen's in a good enough position to see that. No one's pushing up just yet. 39 seconds. Once again, FaZe Clan playing it slow. Now, we saw in the previous round, there was a mad dash towards the site, which wasn't really in their favor when 1 or 2 frags didn't go the right way. We got Molotovs at the 30-second mark, which is really brutal. It is going to be a race. Bear in mind, the bomb is on long. 25 seconds. Tizian takes out 2. Now the bomb's alone in a 1 versus 1. 20 seconds to get to the bomb site. He can't even really take it properly. Now it becomes 2 versus 1. There's a trade, and it doesn't go the way of FaZe Clan. They can't get to the bomb and get back to the site. They can't win by elimination because we've got Xantares in the middle of mid. So again, the slow round is just not going to work out for them.
Yeah, they go to long once again, and Tizian's done such a great job at this position. It's curious that they keep testing him. He's probably been the standout player for this big side.
Yeah, that position he's playing as well is an extremely strong angle. It's like I feel like it's one of the strongest defensive positions for getting multi kills with a rifle because the T's are swinging into, it's like a left eye swing, and you have a lot of space to play with, and you have that right eye angle, and you're really far away from the angle of engagement. So you have all of the advantages on those peaks, and Tizian's been playing those spots very, very well too. It does make sense that like the delayed long take, because they're like, oh, we're struggling to take long at the start of the round. So if you do a delayed long take, usually the CTs have rotated back to the side, back to mid, and it's just like one guy there. So surely it shouldn't be too hard.
So I think FaZe, what they did that last round, wasn't too bad. I think the bad part about the whole situation is that they took the bomb long instead of catwalk. So if you notice, the people up catwalk got in the A, they peeked long, they even pushed kind of bit towards long, but the bomb was stuck at long and they couldn't plant the bomb.
It goes against logic to believe that your 3 players out long though shouldn't have the. They sent 3 people long.
Did they say 3? I thought it was 3
they sent
cat.
3 people long. Tizian killed 2, almost killed he killed 2, and then Brokey was the last guy there with the bomb.
Trade afterwards, yeah.
Yeah. So
either way, yeah, I think long with that late in the round, maybe it is a little riskier taking up cat with 2 people, but it's always a safer route from cat to A than long to A, in my opinion.
I do wonder if it was like that by design, or if it just happened that at a certain time they didn't feel it was safe to get the bomb over towards short for whatever reason. He was towards long for maybe had a grenade when it didn't have or something. So I was surprised to see that as well, especially with the timing of that round. And now they've got the hero AWP on Nico and a bunch of pistols. This is kind of like the VIP mode. Protect the president. Oh, the orb's being spotted. Xantares pulls a knife out to try and get away faster, but he's unable to escape Nico. That's his best work sometimes in situations such as this. 45 seconds remain. They'll abandon that mid position. Bombs on the floor, but no one's close enough to hear it. And they're lining up for Keto now. And this really is the gauntlet run. Trying to make it.
Oh my goodness.
Up against the chain gun. And it is absolute brutality. Moves towards the barrels now. Position unknown, and that is a sexy ace. Pass me the crayons, baby.
Wow. You made it look so easy. Keto. Oh, dear.
wow.
I mean, what do you say about that? What do you say about that one?
He got headshotted once, just not the second time.
Hit every shot. Made it look easy.
Big about to steal
I love those
things.
hero AWP rounds. Sorry, continue down. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we're just going to see FaZe trying to save themselves here. They just need 2 to find overtime. It's not the craziest ask but the whole like long situation, that seems to be very troubling. It seems to have really caused FaZe so many different issues, and it's looking like a more typical round, of course without the long control, but just landing on catwalk, playing out the default positions. And I wonder if FaZe have in their mind just like at the beginning of the round, they're like, we're just going to go default, get after cat control, we're going to go for a set piece, LA, or a B split. Like I wonder if they've already decided, or if they're kind of looking for some specific pieces of info.
It looks like it's just shaping up to be a cat hit. FaZe have had the most success scaling off of cat, but maybe that's also a reason to use it as a fake. Maybe Big will expect it to be a cat play. And with how FaZe are posturing right now, it actually looks like this will be a mid to B split. But we'll see what kind of fake FaZe throw out. Keto, the first to make contact here. may find Nico if he pushes on forward. Ooh, flicks down, but doesn't quite hit the shot. The taps in, he's being surrounded by players. Nico is able to take him down, and FaZe, they're rerouting now.
Oh, that's actually really smart because one of the players dropped off of A to go through CT, but this is still going to be very troubling. They don't have much time. Nothing can really go wrong. They have no margin for error here.
Oh, no!
And Searson's just holding down the ground with the AWP, knocking them all out of the round. And now it's just going to be Mr. coldzera, but he's got 10 seconds. He's got to find a way to plant the bomb. He's got to contest with Searson, who will absolutely close it down, 16-13, and that is map 1 in the bag for Big.
So, wow. Towards that last round, I think Bemis was in the B tunnels. He tossed a lurk smoke towards B, and I think that pulled the big players to more of a 2-on-2 kind of setup. So I don't know if they're originally wanting to go back cat in that situation, but it looked like it was going to be a B split. But I don't know if Bemis maybe revealed his hand too early.
Well, we'll discuss that more, Eric. After a quick break, we'll be back with the post-map discussion. We'll see you soon.